DNC Day 3 massive interview, Trump on Theo Vaughn, drama, and more. Get in now. Okay. Let's blast off. Let's blast the freak off chat. Okay, we're blasting. We're blasting. Massive interviews. Who this? I think there's movement in the balcony. There, we might have someone coming in right now. Not to me. I'm saying like into the box. Okay, folks, we're blasting off. Let the people know we're live. We're alive. Okay. Is it a band or Spotify? No, dude, it's a fucking band. They're doing rehearsals for like performances later. What's wrong with you? Good news. We're urging Netanyahu again. We're going to urge him again. We're going to urge him some more. Okay. You're being way too nice. They did lump you in with food TikTokers. If they wanted to highlight you as a serious dissenter, they would have, but it's easier just to pat you on the head as an influencer. I mean, I don't really care. I'm just excited about the mention. You know what I mean? I don't care, honestly. Like, who cares, bro? Okay. They're saying I'm a food TikToker. Who cares? Fuck it. If at the end of the day, you're going to have some like Midwestern moms tuning in because they heard this coverage and they were like, let me check this guy out. And then they're going to see me do lifestyle influencer content because that's what I do. Okay. That's what I do. I do lifestyle content. And then they're going to be shocked when they find out that that's not what I do, but it's fine. Your goat's hanging out. Oh my God. Wait, this is definitely edited, right? Yeah, they're going to be like, this guy's always eating on stream when I tune in exactly at 3 p.m. So he must be like a food eater. He must be an eater. He's a mukbang. He's one of those mukbang streamers. You know what I mean? Anyway, folks. Yeah, I saw Ilhan Omar was speaking outside. We'll talk about that as well. Rope Khanna posted great talking about Hassan Nahan at the DNC about a progressive vision for our country. What is this? Bro, what the fuck? He looks the same. Wearing Kamala Merchant attended the DNC to own the libs. Yeah, he's just doing like a am I racist shit. Not looking good for negotiations. Sources say deal unlikely. Hamas looking to Hezbollah to increase pressure on Israel. Yeah, no shit, dude. U.S. criticizes Israeli Prime Minister's maximalist ceasefire stance. Oh no, that's crazy. Life imitate itself. Okay. My mom's been tuning every single day since the Trump rally. You got the Midwest mom vote. Let's go. Dude, that's the one thing I actually ended up, that's the one thing I noticed is that I personally, like back in the day when we used to go to protests, we just see like, you know, people my age. Now, people my age are bringing their dads and their moms. Like, they're bringing their parents to the protests. Like, there was a bunch of people I talked to that were like, yeah, I put my mom and dad on your broadcast. Like, they watch it all the time. You know what I mean? Like, this is fun for the whole family. So yeah, those two moms in the hallway loved you. I know, that was very cute. They were very cute. Someone said this is like very Veep style, big Veep energy. Let's see this. Oh no, come on. It's hard. It's going to be hard to make you guys look bad anyway. Come on now.
All right.
You like that?
Thank you so much.
No problem.
All right.
Have a great night. I do play ball, yes. Do you?
I do, yeah.
Oh, hell yeah. You got a ball up.
I got a kid that's in college. Yeah.
On Democracy Now? Are you crazy? What? Yeah, I got your number. I'll text you back. Yeah, of course, I'd love to come on the show. That's crazy. Okay, hell yeah. All right. Thanks a lot, guys. Have a good one. Yeah. I wanted to say to those ladies, you betcha. So bad.
You're wonderful.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Bernie's on. Fuck, we gotta run. Fucking missing Bernie. Okay, run. Run. Power walking. Shit. That's awesome. That's fire, dude. God damn. My mom watches your stream on mute and alone in her room. Not sure why she's so secretive about it. Okay, chill. Okay. So I feel like social media influencers taking a prominent stage at the DNC is like a much larger deal by the media that also kind of feel like they're being forced out of the conversation a little bit. It doesn't bode well for my kind of coverage, even though, you know, I have a somewhat of an antagonistic relationship with outlets in general. I am hypercritical of them, but I also do give them big props every time I talk to them, whether it be talking to CNN yesterday when I was having a convo with Donnie about the importance of mainstream outlets doing great journalism, how I have a lot of friends that are investigative reporters in these mainstream outlets doing great journalism. You know what I mean? Like this is a symbiotic relationship. It wouldn't work without the other side. So I do hope that they don't consider me to be someone who is just like participating in the new wave that is like basically out competing mainstream media. I don't think we are. That's why they don't like TikTok and Twitch. Yeah, I mean, I like I said, I am. Donnie is my cousin. Wait, really? Yeah, Ed Markey tweeted this as well. This was beautiful. His team is aware of who I am, obviously. When I hosted my first Twitch stream, Hassan the Hunt surprised me by tuning in. Today, I got to surprise him at the DNC. Thanks for having me. Let's do it again. Then there's the New York Times. 89% of swing states voters want to increase the minimum wage. 84% want to expand Medicare to vision, dental, and hearing. 84 want the wealthy to start paying their fair share in taxes. This is how the New York Times covered Bernie Sanders' speech on those policies. Just blatantly inaccurate. Okay? In short, Sanders did on Tuesday night what his fellow progressive AOC chose not to do in her convention speech on Monday night. Make policy proposals to put Harris in a big government vise, binding or pushing her in a direction that a lot of moderates do not want to go. Harris needs some of those swing state moderates if she's going to win the presidency. Dude, these guys have one speed. The New York Times cannot stop itself from manufacturing consent for this supposed moderate that is absolutely not going to vote for the Democratic Party because the Democratic Party is too radical, you know, too radical. Harris needs some of those swing state moderates if she's going to win the presidency, but the electoral math didn't seem to be on Sanders' mind. Rather, the moment was a reminder about Bernie. If you give him a speaking slot, he'll play it to the hilt and take it to the limit. That is crazy. I don't like this. I don't like this at all. This is why I say there is obviously so much there's so much bias presented in this kind of like neutral tone within regular mainstream reporting. Like I consider this to be a disservice to the public. This is the type of stuff that I'm talking about when I say this is like somewhat of a disservice to the public to like make it seem like there's this broad consensus among moderates that this is like the one thing that they represent like a major constituency that cannot be reasoned with. You know what I mean? Even Newt Gingrich thinks his old antagonist is the Democrats' best hope to connect with working class voters. Chicago, it's time to take the big dog off the porch and let him run. Bill Clinton should return to the campaign trail this fall. Bro, he's like 8,500 years old, okay? I don't know what he looks like lately, but he hasn't been looking too great last couple of times I've seen him on camera. So I don't know what they're trying to say here, but anyway, he's younger than Trump and Biden. Yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Waltz is doing great and the attacks don't seem to be sticking, but how did this not come up in vetting? Tim Waltz drinks Diet Mountain Dew. 11% preference effect. Why? Yo, Diet Mountain Dew is the shit. Yo, people are crazy. Speaking of the New York Times, they're going crazy with the fucking fact checks. Here it is again. This one is absolutely inexcusable. The New York Times will generally be doing the worst fact-checking job this week and are not only because the Washington Post is doing an even worse job. Take it from an actual billionaire. Trump is rich in only one thing, stupidity. This lacks evidence. They're joking, right? I think like, look, I don't care about the palace intrigue aspect of this as much, but I do feel as though maybe some of the journalists are like resentful with how much the DNC has offered some space that normally would be allocated to them to like influencers. And I feel like they're being awfully contentious in a way where it's not like serious adversarial journalism, but just simply being contentious for the sake of being a contrarian. Okay. While Mr. Trump's exact net worth is unknown, Forbes and Bloomberg estimate that he is currently a billionaire. A judge ruled in February in a civil fraud case brought by New York Attorney General that Mr. Trump had inflated his net worth, and Mr. Trump has long exaggerated his wealth by falsely claiming to be a self-made billionaire. Here's another fact check. Donald Trump and J.D. Vance want to dismantle our healthcare system. Oh, we saw that already. This is exaggerated. This is exaggerated. I worry that they're being a little petty. These journals are actually jelly because the only time they read their articles by watching you read them. Yeah. There was an NPR piece this morning that featured you. Yeah, I know. They said I was they said I was not contentious to the Democratic Party or co-opted by the Dems. And I asked silly questions like, what food would you be when given the opportunity to talk to a sitting congressperson? Yeah, RFK is reportedly dropping out this week to, as I told you, dropping out this week to swap and endorse Biden. I mean, not Biden, endorse Trump. And the reason why he's doing that is because Trump is probably going to offer him, because because Donald Trump is currently in panic mode. He probably ended up reconsidering the decision that he had made prior with respect to RFK not getting a. Yeah, I called this happening already. I said this would inevitably happen, and we are now there. It is happening. Okay. Obama's claim about Trump's penis size. Obama's claim lacks evidence, though he has been focusing on crowd size. The implication that this affects the overall length of his member. Old school media acting like an only child, new brother. Yeah. What is the leading report, dude? What the fuck? Via the Benny Show pod? Dude, I don't know if I trust this, okay? This is where I say, always, I trust verified sources, like mainstream source, and not the Benny Show pod, okay? Breaking, Donald Trump Jr. just endorsed the idea of Robert F. Kennedy Jr. joining the Trump administration as potential CIA director. Yeah, that's just Donald Trump Jr. talking on the Benny Show pod. Donald Trump Jr. has made a lot of fucking silly mistakes in this campaign for Donald Trump so far. And like, I don't know if he's actually going to get the CIA director slot, but I can tell you that he probably will get some kind of like, he'll get some kind of, he'll extract some kind of like position appointment in the Trump administration, specifically to give his endorsement to Donald Trump, because all of those swing state polls currently show RFK eating away at Trump's base more than he eats away at the Democratic Party's base. So, you know, that's just the situation. He's going to put him on FDA or some shit. He's going to make him the vaccine inspector. Isn't that an illegal quid pro quo? What? No, that you can do that. What? That literally is the entire primary process. Half the people that run to the primaries are either trying to write a book later down the line or get a prominent cabinet position. So they just like run against whoever is going to be the president inevitably. That's normal. That's not how that works. That's just like a normal part of the process. Like, remember in the primaries when everyone in the Democratic Party dropped out because they were terrified of Bernie Sanders' momentum and endorsed Joe Biden? And then a lot of those people did get positions, like Mayor Pete, Transport Secretary Mayor Pete. Kamala Harris is the vice president, now running as the president. That's usually how this stuff works. Anyway, our favorite Fox show is sending Johnny to Hawaii to investigate Obama's birth certificate in the year of our Lord 2024. This is the same desperation. This is the same desperation that Trump is exhibiting, that the Republican organs of propaganda are also repeating. They all see the writing on the wall. They see the polls. They see the momentum in the DNC coming out of the DNC, and that puts a little bit of fear in their hearts. Donald Trump's campaign obviously is hemorrhaging funds directly to all of his legal battles. So therefore, they don't have all of the hundreds of millions of dollars that they can potentially utilize in key states. Most of their efforts are now focused on, I believe, Georgia, North Carolina, and more importantly, Pennsylvania. And they noticed that like the momentum changed dramatically in the direction of the Harris-Walz ticket as soon as the swap out happened. So now what remains of their funds, they're dumping $100 million specifically into Pennsylvania so they can try to counter message against Walz and Harris because there's obviously a lot of media coverage on what's going on. When the convention gets going, is it possible to slightly delay your stream so you're in sync with what's going on? No. How would that work? Like, you think I should end my broadcast? You think I should just like end my broadcast and restart it Anyway, I'm probably not going to be here for like I'm not going to be up here for the major speeches tonight anyway, because I'm doing the Chapo pod later. So don't worry about that. Hold on. This mic is like falling off. I don't know how to fix it. Like it just slips away. The grip is not good enough. Look, see? Look at this. Look at the plastic cover. Like the sticky cover, it's like slipping away. Is it possible to go forward in time so we can see the speeches now? Is the Chapo Pod live or on their Patreon? I mean, I don't know what they're doing. I don't think they're filming it live. But okay. I'm not, but it just like falls off. It slips off rather. And it there's not really much we can do, I think. Can you stream the Chapo Pod? No. Funding in July math. Remember Trump getting shot, the RNC, and then Biden dropping out all happened across presidential campaign, DNC, RNC, Senator Fund, Congress Fund. Dems raised 280 million. Reps raised 106 million. Lol, nice convention. Yeah, no, they're also having a funding issue. But remember what I'm saying. Not only do they have a fundraising problem, which normally wouldn't be that big of an issue if they didn't also have a lot of those funds go directly into legal campaigns. That is a major part of this equation. Okay? Anyway, let's get to the social media influencers' take on the DNC.
For the first time ever, the DNC has given credentials, usually reserved for traditional press, to social media personalities.
Well, I'm a content creator. I make videos on TikTok in Spanish for the Latino immigrant community here in the United States. I do my content in Spanish, but I talk about politics, social issues, and all that.
Carlos Eduardo Espina has more than 10 million followers on TikTok.
Damn.
In another DNC first, he's taking center stage as a speaker.
I think nowadays, left and right are getting their information on social media. So it's
Bro,
important.
how come he's on the floor? I'm not on the floor. You know what I'm saying? I never got my ass on the floor. They haven't given me floor access yet. You know what I'm saying? There's other people who are popping. Maybe I should have had fucking the Hotties for Harris party was popping. Yeah, dude, I was taking my hot ass over to my hotel room to fucking fall asleep. It's because you're not lived up enough. No, I mean we had one floor pass. We just need two because you're not wearing a suit. No, that doesn't matter. We need that floor access, baby. We need that shit. You're not Latino, DEI brother. Yeah, okay. Calm down, bro. He's this dude is popping. But you know what else is popping? The way I serve 3-minute ad breaks at the top of the hour. Okay, I bet you he wouldn't be able to do that. He would not be able to do that. For $6 or for free, though, you won't see the top of the hour ad break. It won't be a problem for you, okay? It won't be an issue for you. All you need to do is subscribe, baby, okay? For $6 or free, or you could get gifted a sub. You know what I'm saying? Here's the 3-minute ad break now. Hold on, I'm getting fucking noties up the ass. Oh, shit, hold on. Okay, K-Sheep, thank you for the 5 gifted. Here's the 3-minute ad break now. All right, I served it. Okay. What is this? These journalists versus creator squabbles I keep hearing around the DNC need to end. Both groups need to unite around the true atrocity of this convention, which is that the United Center are only serving Pepsi products. Oh my God. He spoke to my soul with this one. He spoke to my fucking soul with this one. Speaking truth to power. Get AOC to do this. Cat time. Okay. You got it.
Important to have people like us here so we can take that message directly to the audience who might
You're going to watch the Women Dem Governor panel in an hour? No.
not see the convention on television or on traditional news.
Though the convention is its typical star-studded affair, the DNC this year is hoping to connect with voters beyond the reach of traditional media.
Look, I'm someone who absolutely loved Joe Biden, but I'm also a woman who is completely psyched for the idea of a Kamala Harris presidency.
This is influencer Lee McGowan.
So I started this project as a way to re-engage people with American politics because I think American politics is so exciting and so wonderful, and I know that we can make such a big difference.
Democrats are stepping up efforts to counter Donald Trump's social media machine and viral videos in what polls show could be an extremely close race between the two candidates.
Breaking gay news. We are here at the Democratic National Convention.
Josh Healthgott, an LGBTQ plus advocate, says he's grateful that Harris.
Bro, is this how I look like to the outside world when I'm doing my news commentary? Is this what it looks like, bro? I'm so fucking cooked.
Harris's team sees the value of creators.
It's about time. Creators are like a huge messenger in the news economy today. We share stories with the public just like news anchors do, and in many ways, indisputably, we reach more people.
For the first time ever, more than 200 content creators have been given credentials, like press credentials, to attend and cover the Democratic National Convention.
I'm gonna be on. I do breaking gay news every day when I fucking flex my pits on the timeline.
Move comes as Democrats continue to try and reach out to young voters. And while polling shows many 18 to 29-year-old voters are leaning in favor of the Democratic nominee, some are worried the enthusiasm behind.
What happened? Did it actually F? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? There is no F. No F. It's fine. It's a Twitch F. Bro, what is happening? EU. Oh, this is what I was doing, bro. This is what I saw this. Dude, it's so funny how everyone is like locked in. They're listening to Obama. I'm looking the exact opposite direction. Locked the fuck in, doing the damn thing, okay? Doing the damn thing. Just turned around. Everyone thinks you're insane. No, I think like if there's one group of people who know what the fuck I'm doing there, it's literally the influencers. So they're aware of what the fuck I'm doing. I don't think the journalists fully understand what I'm doing unless they're my friends and they're like not oblivious to what I do. I don't have a solo room this time, but I'm in a different spot. This time, but but like it's a balcony. I'm in a wide open space directly in the middle of the convention hall in the convention center. And I am, what is this?
Okay.
What the fuck is this? Why are you sending me random TikToks? An influencer caught you being demure at the creator lounge?
Cute welcome sign. This is our lil box. Twitch streamer being very demure. We have a nice little mural. All the snacks. Seats next to the trad media boxes. This is very cool. View of the stage. Michelle Obama will be right there. Got my snack. I'll be working until prime time. Let's tour the creator penthouse at the DNC.
As me, I'm
Cute
demure.
This is our lil box. Twitch streamer being very...
As me, I'm being demure. Very mindful, very demure. I'd imagine the influencers find it funny they didn't give you a room. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't care. I think it worked in my favor. Like, we're making the most of it. Obviously, we know how to fucking roll with the punches. Give March flowers. I thought you streaming IRL would look weird and awkward, but he does a really good job. Yeah, if it wasn't for March's camera work, it would be looking fucking weird and awkward. Because obviously me holding the camera and also trying to fucking handle everything else is like virtually impossible. The thing is like, the problem is like that shit breaks down anyway, and I also have to, when it breaks down in real time, fix it myself. So that breaks the seamless way in which we can cut content. That also breaks the seamless way in which we can cut content. That also is weird to all the other people that are not aware of all of the other factors that go into it. Sometimes when I'm literally fucking streaming and I have to stop when I'm doing an IRL stream, I have to stop and talk to March and be like, yo, can you move around so I can see like what the bit rate looks like? People around me are like, what the fuck is happening? Like, I don't know what that means. You know what I mean? They don't know what that is. They don't know what the fuck's going on. Oh, my hair is so bad today. I just really let it rip every time. I need to fix this shit. Is there a way to record and stream in case the stream breaks? I don't know the tech. No. Anyway, you say that you can see what's going on in chat, but I really don't think you understand. What do you mean? Please, one round of Valo from the DNC. Yeah, no, I'm not going to do that. Do you feel sick? You might have COVID. I don't feel sick. Why the fuck are you saying that? What the fuck? Bro, chatters, you really got to stop with this weird parasocial shit. I swear to God, dude. I already blasted someone the other day when they were like, stop snorting. Stop snorting. I hate when you snort into the mic. It's like, shut the fuck up. Okay. Let's get back to the influencer conversation. The influencer drama. Shit is heated. I didn't even know it was happening.
Kamala Harris may not actually guarantee a turnout on Election Day. So Kalen Allen is joining us. He is one of those content creators at the DNC, and he's previously participated in social media strategy sessions with the Biden administration. You know, Kalen, it's always good to see you. I gotta admit, I'm a little jelly. I mean, you're living your best life. Last time we spoke to you about Beyonce. Now you're at the DNC, and it looked like one heck of a party last night. So creators are there, and they have those official badges, just like journalists. They have access that many sort of legacy media members are going to have, including VIP interviews and studio space. How are you seeing this play out? What are you seeing other content creators and influencers doing, and what do you make of this strategy?
You know, personally, I think that the strategy is absolutely brilliant. I have had a front row seat to watching these creators actually activate.
There's something so funny about this because, like, whenever they ask me about this stuff, and they do quite frequently, a bunch of the interviews that I did before the DNC, people have asked me about it since, like, the Aiden Ross Twitch streaming thing. I always say the same thing. Okay? I always say the same thing. I don't think it's gonna push the needle. Okay? I don't care about, like, politicians collaborating with influencers. I care about their policies, and I think Americans care about their policies, and that they should communicate their policies better. Now, if they do that while they're communicating with an influencer, that's great. But, like, overall, people should vote for something, not against the other party. It's not team sports. It's about improving people's lives, improving people's material conditions. So, that's what I stick to every time. Obviously, it's a little self-serving for me to turn around and be like, yeah, it's great. They should always do influencer beats. Like, they should really talk to these influencer beats. It's like, they should really talk to these influencers. Like, yeah, no, we have big audiences. We obviously have very passionate fan bases. We can maybe change their minds as well. But, like, I can't speak for other content creators, but I can speak for myself. I'm not going to, like, push people in one direction if I don't personally believe in it. Okay? That's it.
And mobilize in ways that I've never seen us been able to have access before. I mean, they are absolutely working. And I think what is great about this is that we are meeting young voters where they are. But I think it even also expands.
That's also part of the reason why. I don't like wearing like a Harris Waltz hat. You know what I mean? like, or a Brad sticker.
It's far past young voters, but also the parents of these voters. And I think that is absolutely amazing.
And clearly it's not just the use of, I was thinking about the use of influencers and content creators like you. And one of the things that you have is this incredible reach, and you don't cost very much. You know what I mean? You make the content that would probably cost millions of dollars.
Bro, you wear Trump hats all the time. Just say it's ironic. It's different. The reason why it's different is because I'm here. I'm at the DNC, and I'm literally here as a welcomed guest of the DNC. So if I'm like that looks like an endorsement. Obviously, when I wear the Trump hat, that's not a fucking endorsement. You know what I mean? Like, even if I was at the RNC as a welcome guest at the RNC, that's not and I wore a Trump hat, that would still not be considered an endorsement. Okay? There is obviously a difference between like me wearing a Trump hat, which is obviously ironic. Everybody knows I'm playing a character, versus like me wearing a fucking Harris Waltz hat, in my opinion.
For the.
Are you endorsing Kamala by proxy? Yeah, I'm endorsing Kamala by proxy in the same way that Jake Tapper is endorsing Kamala Harris by proxy by being here. Okay? Or Mehdi Hassan is endorsing Kamala Harris by proxy by being here. Or Ryan Grimm is endorsing Kamala Harris by proxy by being here. People ask me all the time, do you endorse Kamala Harris on the Harris Waltz ticket? And I always tell them the same thing. Wait and see. I'm waiting and I'm seeing. There's a lot more that I need to see in terms of like what they're communicating to the public and what they are genuinely interested in doing. Okay? I don't want Donald Trump to win. That is obvious. I mean, I don't have a issue stating that reality. I think Donald Trump is a menace and awful. I think most Republicans in general are menaces and awful. Yeah, it's like Charlie Kirk is endorsing Kamala Harris by being here.
Party to make. I'm wondering, though, if the content has content. if you get what my drift is the content, here's what they're eating at the DNC. Oh my God, I just saw Lil Jon. Or are content creators talking about the issues that are important to younger voters?
I think this is so funny because it's like my entire existence here, and I think that's what like the DNC might have been thinking of, is a direct counter to this narrative. You know what I mean? Like, it's a direct counter to this fucking narrative that this question is presenting. It is a slanted question with a narrative hidden in it. Okay, there's an underlying premise here.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, because one thing that I want to make sure that I emphasize is that there are a wide range of content creators, and everyone was brought here for a purpose. And what I've seen is that the content creators that were selected are people that actually have platforms that they have actually structured around, like policy and different political activations and conversations. So I think there's a lot of intention and purpose behind there. And of course, you have some people that are here just for the experience, but for the majority, these are people that actually talk about these topics on a day-to-day basis.
And what is your take on how the Harris campaign has been doing? For a while there was kind of a suggestion that, Harris was that this was a sugar high, and Harris isn't really talking about policy at all. Are you seeing the campaign bring up issues that are important to young people? And what are some of those issues?
Oh, absolutely. I think when it comes to the actual policy, what is great about especially how they have incorporated content creators is that we have all been provided with a lot of messaging. We have been provided with a lot of the facts and details that comes with the campaign, so that we can be the catalyst for that information. You know what I mean? And I know last time that I was there, we discussed about how the campaign was trying to figure it out because it was so last minute that they were thrown into it. And I think what they've been doing is really doing trial and error and figuring out what.
You can see me behind Chris Wallace on the CNN broadcast. Yo. We gotta look at that. Holy shit. Shut the fuck up. Wait. I'm gonna go to my pirated CNN live stream. Shut the fuck up. Y'all are joking, right?
Consistent with what many administrations in the past have done. Before we go,
my man's in fucking Tel Aviv, bro.
Progress of the war here in the Middle East, in Gaza. Some have noted changes between Harris and Biden in terms of how they talk about this conflict, with a particular attention to civilian casualties. Does Harris intend to shift U.S. policy as relates to the Middle East and the war in Gaza?
But Vice President Harris and President Biden, their entire administration has been focused on making sure that we have a negotiated ceasefire deal that includes a release of the hostages, that includes robust humanitarian aid for civilians Palestinian civilians, and making sure that we are putting the Middle East region on a path to long-term peace. That is not a change. And so hopefully there is a deal on the table that we are very close to, except former President Trump is doing everything he can to undermine that deal. You can't see me, and also it's not in real time anyway. He put his own selfish interests above those of the people.
It's cool to see them actually talking about this in these terms, though.
Especially with the music behind you there in the auditorium as they prepare for tonight's performance.
The narrative is shifting, Chad. The narrative is shifting. You see that? They're hitting a partisan angle on Benjamin Netanyahu. They're talking about Benjamin Netanyahu's selfishness. Like that's interesting
Harris's
to see.
Husband, the second gentleman, Doug Emhoff, also took the spotlight to share his
$20 billion aid to Israel last week so they can forge a path for peace. I know, it's such a fucking L, dude. It's such a goddamn L. It's such a goddamn stupid fucking decision from this administration. Just like putting fucking Blinken out there to do like defense attorney shit for Benjamin Netanyahu was so goddamn stupid. Okay? Okay? Bibi is clearly going to try to interfere in this election and try to swing it for Trump. He already is doing that. I mean, the Trump call definitely forced their hand. After that, there's no way you can straight face say the unconditional aid should continue. I think they're just like dumb. I think that the Democrats on foreign policy are scared and they're stupid. And the NatSec Andes will fight you if you mention it, saying that the $20 billion is not funding but sales, like it isn't the same shit. Yeah, it's $20 billion worth of weapons that they're purchasing with our money that we gave them ahead of time. Like, what are we talking about? They're not fucking going in there. They're not going in there and like, opening up the purses. You know what I mean? Dude. Carrot and the stick is not fucking working. Let me finish this influencer bit and then we'll get to Israel, okay?
What works, but I think what is great, especially with their social media presence, is that they are able to actively be on the topic as it happens, and that you don't have to wait to get the information later on.
So tomorrow you're actually going to be participating in a live roundtable discussion. It's called The Youth Vote. Are we losing the next generation? And it's for the Congressional Black Caucus and a Rolling Sea Action Fund. Can you tell us a little bit about this panel and what you hope to be discussing?
Yes, absolutely. So there will be multiple panels, and I will be sitting on that one that you just mentioned. But what we will really be discussing, and I think my angle is that my thing is that I am all about teaching young voters to not rely on media to help them decide what they should do, and giving the resources of being able to do their own research and not letting media dictate how they should move. Because I do think that social media oftentimes can create a hive mentality, and I don't think that that is conducive to this election because we don't have a lot of time. So it's important to be able to do your own research and make your own informed decision.
Yeah, that's really smart, Kaylin. Kaylin Allen, thank you very much. Have fun.
Okay. Let's talk about Israel-Palestine. Oh, fuck. God, I'm such a serious broadcaster. Did you sign an NDA not to mention any citing of Taylor Swift, the true kingmaker of this election? Dude, you're crazy if you think that Taylor Swift is out here fucking, you know, putting her political and social capital on the line. To like, no, she's gonna do the classic like fucking 1 month out from the election. You guys should go out and vote and protect abortion, and then that's it. Okay. The burps give you +3 viewers. Hell yeah. Okay, so where the fuck were we? Oh damn, there isn't any Israel Palestine stuff in here. Okay, free Bill Clinton, Lamau. This is a good take from Jeremy Slevin, senior advisor to Senator Sanders. I should probably DM him too to be like, yo, let me get Bernard up in here. I'm gonna DM him right now, actually. Can I snag an interview with Bernie before DNC ends? Send me your phone and email, get you connected. Okay. That's for Ilhan Omar, the email and phone number, not for Bernie. Anyway. We need a Hosburp compilation. You don't need a Hosburp compilation. Sometimes you don't need things, okay? You don't need everything. All right, let's get back to the matter at hand here, okay? Do we have a update? PBS reporter corrects her story on the Trump Netanyahu phone call. Oh, she said that it was not original reporting. I want to clarify my remarks. There's an update on this. I want to clarify my remarks on PBS News Special Monday night. This is what Judy Woodruff had said. Judy Woodruff originally said on PBS that Trump had talked to Benjamin Netanyahu. Turns out that's not the case. PBS News Special on Monday night about the ongoing ceasefire talks in the Middle East. As I said, this was not based on my original reporting. I was referring to reports that I had read in Axios and Reuters about former President Trump having spoken to the Israeli Prime Minister. In the live TV moment, I repeated the story because I hadn't seen later reporting that both sides denied it. This was a mistake, and I apologize for it. Except, I'm still 100%. I think they did, by the way. I think they did have this conversation. Anyway, Kamala Harris sat on a phone conversation that Biden had. I don't know where the fuck they're not talking about that. CNN's talking about,
and we'll be right back.
Doug instead. Do we have any new reporting on the fucking Israel Palestine stuff? We'll talk about RFK as well. Here, I'll play this while I go pee real quick, but here is Glenn Beck talking to Donald Trump Jr. about RFK dropping out, endorsing Donald Trump, and then becoming the head of the CIA or some shit.
The endorsement from RFK, do you think that's coming?
Listen, I hope so. I think RFK, I think he's a smart guy. I think he's actually got very good views on certain things. I think there's some other things, we're going to disagree with him on. But I think it shows sort of a unity against, literally, you mentioned it before I hopped on, about the communism that we are up against. It's not hyperbole anymore. It's not like, they're just a little bit more left than us. It's not, these people, she's talking about, we want to set up price fixing, and we want to set up this, and we're going to be auditing businesses, and we're going to take away your business, and we're going to take away your children if we, can't do, drive-through, transgender surgeries for minors without parental consent. They lost their minds. And so, I love the idea. I love the idea of giving him, some sort of role in some sort of, major, three-letter entity or whatever it may be, and let him blow it up. I think that's what we need. And so I think that kind of unity, even where there may be certain disagreements on certain things, I think he could be a really great asset for that. I think he could bring people together. And I think, it shows a strong, a strong opposition to what we are up against, which is just abject insanity. And I think if we had real unity across independents and others in America to stand up for what we know is coming, what the media is doing a very good job hiding from us, which is the reality of the Kamala Harris platform, which is just a continuation of the Biden administration's platform. We don't need another 4 years of this. What's unique with this election, we had 4 years under Trump, we've had 4 years under Biden. When were you better off? It's sort of a no-brainer, and yet, when you're up against a $1 trillion institution of tech, $1 trillion of mainstream media functioning as the marketing arm of the Democrat Party, it's hard to get a fair shake. And so we have to expose that, and the more people that we had on board, the better. So I'd certainly be open and welcome to the idea, frankly.
Oh, I should have fucking turned off the audio. Sorry. Okay, so this is all it took for RFK to drop out. 30 seconds on CNN yesterday. So here's the situation. RFK Jr. originally came in, and a lot of people speculated that he would be a spoiler candidate. Elusive Pineapple, thank you for the 20 gift subs. A lot of people speculated that he'd be a spoiler for the Democrats. I thought that was a funny notion, considering that he is a regular-ass Democrat, except for one key detail, which is vaccines, right? But that obviously is a major issue for the Republican Party in general. It's like you're way more likely to be a fucking Republican than a Democrat if you're like a vaccine denier, a COVID denier, yada, yada, yada. And that's precisely what happened. I feel like it's getting louder. Holy shit. And polling showed that result. Polling showed those numbers. In every race where RFK was on a ticket, in every swing state that RFK was on the ballot, he was taking away significantly larger percentages from the Trump ticket than the Kamala Harris ticket. Okay? And yes, it's very loud here because the fucking stage is right behind me. Okay? Anyway, so obviously RFK went to first the Trump campaign and said, RFK went to the Trump campaign. Ain't nobody listening to your ass. Can you guys not hear me at all? Like, is it impossible to hear what I'm saying? Or are you guys like fucking around? Okay. RFK went to the Trump campaign and said, I'll drop out and endorse you if you give me a slot in your admin. Trump said, fuck no. Of course I'm not going to do that, because at the time he thought he had a better shot of winning. Okay. He had a better shot at winning. So things have changed dramatically since then. Kamala Harris swapped out with Biden. And also, not only did Kamala Harris swap out with Biden, she picked up Tim Walz. And more importantly than all of those things, obviously they started matching up significantly better. And there's a lot of momentum behind the Harris-Walz ticket, right? So when that happened, Trump had to make another calculation. And I told you guys a couple weeks back that like RFK would absolutely drop and endorse Donald Trump, because Donald Trump would be desperate enough to pick up as many voters as he possibly can. So that's exactly what Trump is doing right now. Donald Trump is leaning into RFK and will probably offer him some like shitty cabinet position. Donald Trump Jr. believes that it's the CIA or whatever. I don't think that's going to happen, but overall, I think he'll get like something out of this deal, and that they will give him, and that he will drop out and he will endorse him. Here's the video where President Trump says he's open to RFK Jr. playing a role in his administration. This is from yesterday. This is all it took for RFK to drop out. RFK, by the way, in this same process, went to the Kamala Harris campaign and tried to get that similar deal from them. They didn't even pick up the phone, obviously, because that's fucking ridiculous. And here we are.
Can I ask you about RFK? Because just moments ago, his running mate said that they were considering endorsing you. Have you considered him for a role in the administration, and what role would that be?
Well, we haven't, but I would love that endorsement because I've always liked him.
Would you also consider putting him in the administration?
You're asking me a very unusual question. I haven't been asked that question yet. I like him a lot. I respect him a lot. I probably would if something like that would happen.
How is that not seen as a form of extortion? What are you talking about? This is why half of the reason why people run, dude. What are you talking about? Of course. No, this is not extortion. This is regular process. It makes sense. It's politics. But yeah, that's the situation with RFK. We're going to move on from the RFK point of the conversation, but like, it spells desperation. For the record, it does spell desperation for the Trump campaign. That is why they're doing this. That is why they're, getting on board with RFK, because they want to pick up as many votes as they possibly can without doing too much. You know what I mean? This would be exactly that, picking up RFK voters and making it a more competitive race against Kamala Harris. Okay, please stop feeding this guy. Israel Palestine. Oh, fuck. Okay, dude. Jesus Christ. RFK can't help his appeal to moderates, can he? No. Of course not. All right, let's continue. And no, I am not using a fucking green screen. For the chatters who are asking, if there was a green screen, do you think I would make it so goddamn loud that I can't even hear myself fucking think? Yo, Hassan, how are you feeling today, mentally and physically? You seem tired or jonesing yesterday. Hope everything good on your side. I don't know what jonesing means. I'm a little tired, but that's because, like, this is a lot more of a lift. Like, what I do for the average person who hasn't been doing this exact same thing for the past fucking 7 years, or not 7 years, 5 years, 8 hours a day is pretty fucking difficult to do. But I have a pretty strict, structured, regimented lifestyle that allows me to be able to do it. When I change that, obviously it makes it much more difficult for me to keep up with it, especially because I'm like running around on top of that too, running around with like running around and doing like IRL portions, lugging all my shit around every day, breaking it and putting it back up. Those are all like things that I think contribute to the wear and tear of me, making it harder for me to just like be able to do 8 to 10 hours of commentary live every single fucking day. But I think that's what it is. It's just like I am a little bit more tired. Were you yeeted last night? I mean, I was tired last night. I wasn't yeeted or anything. Like, I know if I was like sitting in my hotel room and doing this coverage and not going into the DNC, I'd still be able to do like much more, you know? All right. So, do moderates even exist? I feel like there's more progressives who don't vote. There should be one than tightrope walking 50-50 voters. Yeah, I think it's a silly fear-monger campaign. Okay, do you like the new space better? I love the space. Bro, this is insane. We're on the same floor as literally CNN. Like, they're back there. Like, this is an insane opportunity. I literally have the exact same fucking floor setting, the box setting that CNN has, okay? That's insane. Obviously, they have like a million fucking producers and shit, and they also have a million different commentators, and they swap them out. They're not doing 8 hours, but overall, how do they block the noise? They probably have much better equipment specifically for that. 821 5 years ago in that shitty apartment to 821 at the DNC 5 years later. I know. Look how far we've come. In 2019, in August 21st, said America deserved 9/11. I got canceled by Fox News. I was in a 1-bedroom apartment in West Hollywood, living by myself. Now, August 21st, 2024, I'm at the fucking DNC sitting in the same fucking slot as CNN, covering in real time the Democratic Party's Democratic National Convention. Like, that's insane. Probably have more viewers though. Yeah, I mean, I have 42,000 people in here right now. That's a lot more viewers, yes. Apparently that blur in the background is you. Wait, it could be. Oh my God, I think that is me. Wait, how? Wait, what the fuck? Oh my God. I think that's literally me. Wait, no. Hasanabi on CNN. Wait, no, I don't think that's me, bro. What? No, that's not me. Is it? Oh my God, is that when I got up to pee? Here, where is the other one? That's me, chat, I think. And that's me getting up to pee. That's crazy. We made it. SpongeBob pointing at himself. Yeah. I love that you're so excited to be in the backgrounds when you literally have been on the news, being interviewed and stuff on mainstream media. I know, but like, it's cool. It's cool that I now occupy a permanent space while I'm directly live watching, okay? Anyway, let's get to Israel-Palestine now, though, because that's obviously a very serious point of contention. As I've said time and time again, this is going to... It seems like it's not that big of a deal, okay? It seems like it is not that big of a deal, okay? Yeah, I know, it's me. It seems like it's not that big of a deal for the Democratic Party. They're making this calculation that people are not going to think about it because it's foreign policy, and many people don't give a shit about it. If you look at the DNC, there's very little mentions of it overall. It is a big fucking deal. It's obviously an immoral, unconscionable act of violence that we are funding and facilitating. CNN analysis talking about how the IDF humanitarian zone in Gaza has shrunk down to 10,000 acres. My friends that I talk to in Gaza are having to move once again. The conditions are worsening there. All the while, Benjamin Netanyahu is playing the exact same game that he has played since the fucking start. And he shouldn't play a different game than the one he's been playing because we are allowing him to do this. Okay? We are allowing him to do this. The American government, Joe Biden specifically, is dictating our foreign policy and our allegiance to Israel and not doing the smart elder statesman thing that you expect him to do in this circumstance. Okay, a smart elder statesman with 50 years of foreign policy bona fides should not be allowing Israel to run rampant in the way that it has. There's a carrot and a stick, and so far we've just shoved as many carrots as we can down the gullet of the Israeli administration. Okay, that's all we've done. Now, I'm going to catch you up really quickly. On what we've talked about so far. Obviously, okay, the last round of ceasefire talks that were supposed to be trilateral ceasefire talks with Qatar, with Egypt, with the Egyptian envoys, with the Qatari envoys, and with the United States of America, were supposed to be conducted on August 15th. That's 6 days ago. It's been fucking 6 days since that conversation started. These ceasefire negotiations came after Israel killed the principal negotiator on the Hamas side. Israel killed the Hamas political bureau chief, Ismail Haniyeh. They assassinated him in Tehran, violating Iranian sovereignty. They killed a foreign diplomat in another country, a foreign adversary in the region. Inside of the soil of this foreign adversary in the region, they assassinated him, right? Obviously, that shows that they have no real commitment to a ceasefire negotiation, but we knew that already, okay? We knew that already, right? Having said that, however, does the public in the United States of America know that reality? Not necessarily, and that's precisely because the American foreign policy apparatus, the State Department, routinely communicates everything they can, routinely communicates messaging that is so pro-Israel that they end up sometimes outflanking Israel. The major point of contention for those of you who are unfamiliar with this process so far is that there is a 3-phase ceasefire and permanent cessation of hostilities proposal out there on the table. This proposal is nearly identical, according to Anthony Blinken, who also reiterated this, to the Hamas proposal that was delivered in February. This proposal was brought forward by Joe Biden in March, okay? When Joe Biden brought forward this proposal, he claimed it was the Israeli proposal. However, even though he claimed this was the Israeli proposal, okay, Israel never committed to the proposal. Benjamin Netanyahu always kept claiming that there was a difference in opinion in terms of how Israel wanted to do this 3-phase proposal, including the change from phase 1 to phase 2, where Benjamin Netanyahu kept reiterating that he would continue the war and continue bombing Gaza after all the hostages were taken out of out of Gaza. Now, that means that there was no real ceasefire proposal to begin with. You can't have a ceasefire proposal without ceasing fire, right? You cannot have a cessation of hostilities without a cessation of hostilities. So phase 1 was supposed to be a ceasefire. They said no to that. Some of the most important aspects of this conversation, most important points of contention in this ceasefire negotiations has been Israel's unwillingness to remove their troops from two specific corridors in the Gaza Strip: the Netzarim corridor, which cuts across the Gaza Strip, and the Philadelphia corridor, which is the southern border on the Gaza Strip with Egypt. Okay? This includes Israeli troops on Egyptian soil as well, on both sides of the Rafah border crossing. Egypt itself has also been very critical of this. Israel literally killed Egyptian border guards in the process when they were invading Egyptian land, violating their sovereignty as well. Egypt is a vassal state. They won't make too much of a stink about it, obviously, because they rely heavily on American funding to even exist, to the tune of billions of dollars, even more money than Israel itself. So that obviously is a non-starter. That doesn't make any fucking sense, right? You can't be like, oh, we want to do a ceasefire proposal, except we're not going to cease fire. You're just going to give us all the hostages, and then we're going to keep bombing you, okay? Or we're going to withdraw our troops and allow freedom of travel within the Gaza Strip for all Palestinians, but also simultaneously, we're going to keep a permanent occupation that cuts across the Gaza Strip and also control the southern border between Gaza, Palestinian soil, and Egypt, okay? That's not a ceasefire. That's not an end to the occupation. That's fucking bullshit, right? Now, what's interesting about this is that while Israel has been the primary spoiler in this conversation, for some weird fucking reason, the American envoys, anytime an American is involved, they literally keep saying it's Hamas. Hamas has been ruining the talks. It's like Hamas keeps saying, no, we are committed. We made a commitment. We said yes to a ceasefire proposal that is identical to the one that the United Nations voted on, right? The UN voted on. The Security Council said this is it. This is 2735, United Nations Resolution 2735. That is the proposal that we want. That is the one that is an actual three-phase ceasefire and permanent cessation of hostilities and reconstruction proposal. Israel keeps trying to change it, right? Israel keeps trying to change the commitment, trying to change the, fuck you, man. I ain't watching you today. Are you all right? Anyway, the real reason as to why they're doing this, why Israel is doing this, and why America's doing this is because America's playing defense for Israel. Because once Israel violated Iranian sovereignty, Iran and Lebanon and Ansar Allah and Yemen said they would retaliate. Lebanon with Hezbollah, Ansar Allah in Yemen, they said they would retaliate. They would retaliate in kind because Israel had also assassinated a couple high-ranking Hezbollah generals as well in the process. So when that happened, that was an additional vector of pressure upon the state of Israel to fully agree to the ceasefire negotiation in an effort to thwart the Iranian retaliation that would inevitably come, the axis of resistance retaliation that would inevitably come. However, I don't think Netanyahu gives a shit about that because Netanyahu wants this retaliation to occur so that they can go into Lebanon, most likely, and invade Lebanon and pull the United States of America into conflict directly. Okay, we have 4,000 Marines surrounding the Arabian Peninsula. We have many aircraft carriers in the region now, and they're on a holding pattern, waiting to go to potentially war, not in a defensive posture like the last time Iran retaliated, but this time in an offensive posture to go directly with boots on the ground military warfare. Now, Iran told time and time again that they had a commitment to the ceasefire and that they would not want to fuck up the ceasefire proposal. But now that the ceasefire is falling apart because Benjamin Netanyahu, one, tried to change the terms and conditions, and two, still has not agreed to it, despite the fact that Anthony Blinken, who was in Israel and just left Israel yesterday, openly fucking lied about Israel agreeing to the terms and conditions made by the ceasefire proposal, and that it was Hamas's fault that they were holding up the talks. Once again, Benjamin Netanyahu has not said as much, okay? Like, so he's not even on board with his own fucking proposal, dude. He's not even on board with his own new proposal with new poison pill amendments baked into it, okay? Blinken says Israel's agreed to U.S. proposal to close remaining gaps on ceasefire deal and calls on Hamas to do the same. Remember, he lied about this. Analysis. Duped again. The U.S. somehow heard Netanyahu say yes to a Gaza deal. He didn't. The Americans are pushing for a deal with the new urgency, trying to avert a regional conflagration before November's presidential election. But the next few days will indicate whether the U.S. is ready to use levers of influence it chose not to in the last 10 months, which is crazy. Again, that's Haaretz writing this. Okay? This is Haaretz's own analysis. Israeli media is saying what the fuck I've been saying, which is that you can't do a carrot and a stick if you're never going to show the stick. The stick meaning denying weapons transfers. That's it. Okay? That's on the table. That's been on the table since October 8th. But they've never used it, and they refused to use it. There was only one weapon shipments that they held back for a little bit, and there was a conversation surrounding whether or not a troop within the IDF that was doing war crimes would get sanctioned. They removed those sanctions packages quietly against some of the settlers, and against they stopped the investigation that they were going to commit to an IDF troop. So like a brigade specifically. So obviously America's not being serious about this conversation at all, and is on this, like I said, double suicide pact alongside Israel's own Donald Trump, Benjamin Netanyahu, who also happens to be an ally to Donald Trump, by the way. Benjamin Netanyahu is. So, you think Biden admin is too scared to upset the Jewish lobbying groups? Jewish lobbying? No, it's a Zionist lobbying group. It's not a Jewish lobbying group, okay? That's number one. And no, I think Biden is just a rabid ultra-Zionist himself. I think that is a personal opinion that he has, that he's maintained very openly, okay? Anti-Israel hackers stole troves of sensitive Israeli data and are now publishing gigs of secret and classified information. Unable to stop the hacks, Israel is waging a futile war against the leaks. Could Netanyahu sabotage talks to make Democrats look bad and boost Trump? I think Benjamin Netanyahu wants to continue the war, and I think that the continuation of the war requires Benjamin Netanyahu to escalate so that they can actually pull America into direct conflict. If America is pulled into direct conflict, this will be seen as a major fucking flaw for the Biden administration. This will be seen as a major fuck up, okay? The moment that you have American coffins draped with the American flag getting shipped back to the United States of America at the behest of defending Israel and defending Israel's genocidal campaign, the dynamic of this race will change dramatically. This is something that I've been warning about for months now, okay? And nobody fucking seems to hear it. Now, the solution to this is quite simple, okay? The solution to this is to do the exact opposite of what the Biden administration has done so far. Not only that, but only 2 of the several hundreds of weapon shipments since October 7th have been put through congressional review. Biden has used executive order to expedite the process and bypass Congress. Don't do that, okay? Releasing $18 billion in funds, specifically in arms purchases to Israel, is a psychotic maneuver in the midst of this conversation when we should be applying pressure to Israel. You have former Israeli hostage negotiators saying Biden needs to apply pressure to Israel, specifically to the Netanyahu administration. You have Israeli media saying Biden needs to apply pressure to Israel, specifically denying weapons transfers, halting weapons transfers, because it is getting completely out of hand. These aren't exactly people who are, woke or whatever. There's like liberal Zionists who are finally coming to that recognition as well. The last few months of $30 billion in genocide arms have given Israel would have solved homelessness in the U.S. 5 times over. Yeah, we're not even talking about the other aspect of that, okay? Obviously, that's a different aspect of this conversation. Okay, so overall, it is an untenable, unmanageable situation that could be changed instantly, okay? So the phone call that Biden had, okay, before we get to the phone call that Biden had, which Kamala Harris sat on apparently, okay, according to Barack Ravi's reporting on Axios, I want to talk about this other thing. Tommy Vitor posted a New York Times graph that openly shows what is going on here. This graph in the New York Times is important, says Tommy Vitor, one of the Podjons. Israeli hostage families blame Netanyahu for blocking a ceasefire deal, as do the Israeli negotiators, intelligence officials, the military, and broad swaths of the Israeli public. But the U.S. keeps giving Bibi cover by only blaming Hamas. So if you're an American only consuming American media, if you're not here at the Hasanabi broadcast at the top of the hour, avoiding 3-minute ad breaks by subscribing, you have a very different perspective on the matter, okay? A perspective that is not real, a perspective that is objectively false, okay? If you're your parents, for example, that are simply watching, mainstream media that oftentimes is just simply reiterating exactly what Anthony Blinken is saying, reiterating the most unimaginably pro-Israel, the most unimaginably pro-Israel commentary you've ever heard. They're not getting the truth. They're not getting the truth at all. There's no other way to put it. Okay, if they have personally been duped into believing that it is Hamas that is like ruining these peace talks, these ceasefire negotiations, even after Israel killed the principal negotiator, okay, then that's it. They've been fed a steady diet of propaganda and are completely oblivious to the reality. Here's the 3-minute ad break now, by the way. Okay. The lack of progress in talks has also tortured relatives of the roughly 109 hostages still held in Gaza. Some have asked why the Biden admin has not put more pressure on Netanyahu, whose nickname is Bibi, to compromise. He's hiding behind the Americans, said Gilad Korngold, 63, whose son Tal Shaham is one of the hostages. I don't understand the Americans. They really need to tell Bibi, look, we're your friends and protectors, but you're going to go free the hostages. This is the time. Does the leash exist now? Like, what if Bibi just strikes as soon as a weapons transfer falls through? I think that if America openly communicated that they are no longer going to give weapons to Israel, that they're no longer going to defend Israel as long as Israel is like continuing on this multiple front war, that as long as Benjamin Netanyahu continues its NSEAK, okay, America is not going to be there hand in hip or attached to their hip, defending them every step of the way. Things would change dramatically, because ultimately, obviously, no matter how fucking unimaginably cruel and psychotic Benjamin Netanyahu is, he's not going to fucking sit there and allow every single Israeli to be murdered, okay? He's not going to sit there as Tel Aviv gets wiped out. He wants, obviously, for some semblance of a legacy, he wants to be the guy who oversaw the complete death and destruction of Gaza and maybe even dealt with Hamas finally, okay? Like completely destroyed Gaza so that like all the Palestinians that live there can no longer live there and have to leave and have to maybe go to the Sinai Peninsula or some shit, okay? That's what he wants. He still cares about his fucking legacy. He is not going to sit there, I suspect, and allow or be the guy that gets that causes it to be fucking, to incur significant human casualties. A question for you is, where am I, what floor am I on? Like, what is the room? Adoni's asking. Okay. What room are we for interviews? I have people coming for interviews. I mean, I have 1 hour left in here, which kind of sucks, but what are you going to do? So Biden to Bibi call is done. White House to release the readout ETA soon. Okay. I am interested to see what that conversation looks like. But again, if Israel was sanctioned, how can we be sure that they won't make some side connections just like Russia does? Brother, Israel is not Russia. Okay? Russia is a foreign adversary that has geared up its economy to avoid sanctions throughout the past multiple decades at this point. Okay? Israel is attached to the hip of the United States of America. Israel would not exist at all without the United States of America's unlimited support. Okay? And I'm not even talking about just its defense, right? 69% of weapons that Israel uses come directly from the United States of America. You cannot make up that gap. Israel also has its own weapons industry, but that would never be able to keep up with the demand necessary. Okay? It's nothing. It's not even a question. Okay? It's not even a fucking question. Also, American sanctions packages do not mean that America is the only country sanctioning you. It means the entire world is sanctioning you. Israel is not going to be able to turn around and fucking utilize the same resources that Iran utilizes. Okay? Do you understand what I mean? It's not a thing. It's not even a thing. It's not, it's just not, it's not even a question. Anyway, so, as we were talking about, let's take a look at what their, what this latest conversation looked like. Scoop, President Biden is expected to speak to Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu on Wednesday, that's today, and urge him to show more flexibility on the Egypt-Gaza border so a hostage and ceasefire deal can be reached. Okay? President Biden spoke with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to discuss the ceasefire and hostage release deal and diplomatic efforts to de-escalate regional tensions. Vice President Harris also joined the call, the White House said. If that conversation did not even feature, if this conversation did not even feature stopping weapons transfers as a way to threaten the Israeli administration, the stick, if you will, because we've done the carrot. The carrot strategy is the bear hug. The stick would be no more weapons. No more weapons unless you obviously stop this war, okay? Oh, it's good policy. It's good politics. It's good for the election. And I am in awe that people just simply refuse to recognize that. Okay? The drama frogs are so pathetic today. Holy shit. Wait, what drama frogs? What drama? I'm completely oblivious to the drama, if there is any drama. Anyway. Oh, just people try to pretend there's AOC Ilhan Omar drama. It really doesn't matter. Oh, okay. That's what you're talking about. I thought you were talking about like some other people yelling at me or some shit. Anyway. Wait, this guy said, hey, I'm mostly a YouTube viewer, but wanted to ask something. Sorry if this is a little off topic. How do you differentiate between an immigrant and a settler? Is it based on power dynamics? Yes, dude. Settlers have the full support of the occupying force. They are a deliberate force that is engaging in pogroms. Okay? They're a deliberate force engaging in pogroms in the West Bank. Okay? Immigrants that are coming into the United States of America are applying to seek asylum. Okay? Unless you mean undocumented immigrants, in which case they're applying to seek asylum. They are not being directed by governments. It's not like the Guatemalan military has taken out an entire chunk of American land. Okay, Guatemalan military has not occupied an entire chunk of American land, have like completely displaced the American citizens living there, and are forcibly getting other Guatemalans to now live in that land. There is a major difference in this situation. Okay, yeah, the AOC Ilhan Omar convo. It's fine. We'll get to that in a second. Okay, here's Iran. Here's the Iran UN envoy's full statement. Okay, the Iranian mission to the UN. Because, you know, if this ceasefire negotiation falls apart, obviously Iran is going to retaliate, as is expected, as is their internationally recognized right to do so. Okay? Iran's response must yield two distinct objectives. First, it must punish the aggressor for its act of terrorism and infringements upon Iran's national sovereignty. Second, it must bolster Iran's deterrence capabilities to induce profound regret within the Israeli regime, thereby serving as a deterrent against the repetition of any acts of aggression in the future. Furthermore, Iran's response must be carefully calibrated to avoid any possible adverse impact that could potentially influence a prospective ceasefire. The timing, conditions, and manner of Iran's response will be meticulously orchestrated to ensure that it occurs at a moment of maximum surprise, perhaps when their eyes are fixed on the skies and their radar screens. They will be taken by surprise from the ground, or perhaps even by a combination of both. Now, yeah, Megaphonics is right. I can't believe I'm saying this. But the second part is interesting because it's what Israel constantly says about their plan to eradicate Hamas, yet it'll be spun as a scary terroristic threat when it comes to Iran. Yes, of course. So, isn't it just the standard Israel bullshit, kick the hornet's nest in Iran, then go back to negotiating table to buy time until they can prepare enough? That is precisely what is going on in terms of what Israel's goals are from the ceasefire negotiation. And the fact that the American government is playing this role in being the principal party that allows Israel this time is ridiculous. It is counterproductive. Okay? Does Hassan have a green screen? Yes, I am in a green screen. This is my green screen behind me that I can touch. Anyway. Yeah. Also, U.S. has now criticized Israeli PM's maximalist ceasefire stance. So, like, sources say deal unlikely, Hamas looking to Hezbollah to increase pressure on Israel. Everyone is talking about, for the most part, Israel's role in this, with the exception of, I guess, the American leadership. But even they are now at least claiming that they're having direct conversations. Okay? Check out these two tweets from the Israeli state broadcaster on the Gaza border. Netanyahu agreed to the United States proposal to withdraw from the Philadelphia Axis in the second phase of the deal, but Hamas and Egypt demand to vacate the Axis at the very beginning. with details. So that's what they're saying. What do you mean? Where's the other tweet, Elent? You just sent me one tweet. I mean, this is new, so I wonder what is the response of the Prime Minister's office. The report is not true. Israel will insist. Okay, I got it. No, I got the second tweet. Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, Stevie Wonder is behind me and he's singing. Okay, chat, shut the fuck up. Lock in. Lock in. Okay. Okay. Oh my God. All right, a lot is going on. The response from the Prime Minister's office, the report is not true. Israel will insist on achieving all the war goals as defined by the cabinet, including the goal that Gaza will no longer pose a security threat to Israel. And this requires the closing of the southern border. So Benjamin Netanyahu is again denying that he is willing to pull out, denying that he's willing to fucking pull out of the Philadelphia corridor that currently occupies the Egyptian side and the Palestinian side of the Gaza border to Egypt. What a ridiculous situation. No, you can go in there. It's fine. You won't be seen on camera. Instead of spreading these lies, I already ran the 3-minute ad break, chatter. God damn it. Stop trying to debate me, okay? I already ran it. I ran it 14 minutes ago. Why are you so much closer today than yesterday? Your ADHD was going crazy. I know it is going crazy, but it's whatever. The Egyptians are saying they won't agree to any deal that has Israel control their border. I mean, it makes sense, but Egypt will do whatever fucking America tells them to do regardless. So, Trump has responded to Obama's comments in the DNC. Let's take a look.
Multiple times throughout the course of his nearly hour plus.
Obama said Trump's penis is small.
We're telling him to stick to policy, as Republican allies have, and that he doesn't want to. He took an informal poll. The crowd said, go with personal attacks, Aaron.
Interesting. All right, Phil Mattingly, thank you very much. In North Carolina,
they're having a hard time fucking talking on the CNN speech too. Look at this. Even on the CNN broadcast, they're having a hard time, dude.
Timing on that. Nice. Now I don't have to listen to myself instead of Stevie Wonder. Let's talk about this. Not Stevie Wonder, as much as I would love to just cede the floor to little Stevie. Bakari, let me start with you. Let's just play some of the sound demonstrating how Democrats are talking about the Republican Donald Trump, who seems, from the clip that we just saw from Phil Mattingly in North Carolina,
saw this.
Perturbed, quite offended.
I love that SAT word.
So let's run some of the sound.
It was the same old show. The divisiveness and the disrespect.
Going small is petty, it's unhealthy, and quite frankly, it's unpresidential.
We do not need 4 more years of bluster.
Chad, the reason why I'm trying to fucking cram as much news as possible instead of fucking listening to Stevie Wonder and enjoying the show is because I have a limited amount of time on the fucking desktop, okay? Shut the fuck up. I have 1 hour remaining here, okay? I'm trying to make the most of it. I have a job, it's to do the fucking news, do news and commentary, okay? And also, I need to cut commentary on top of that for my YouTube page, too. There are people who want to see what I have to say about this shit. God damn.
Saying Obama last night, take little shots. He was taking shots at your president. And so was Michelle. You know, they always say, sure, please stick to policy. Don't get personal. And yet they're getting personal all night long, these people. Do I still have to stick to policy? Did you see?
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely feeling some type of way about that, okay? Although the plexiglass bubble he's in, I think he's behind a bulletproof window, like a glass case. He's posting through it. Anyway, so he was in North Carolina earlier today. He talked about a bunch of
They're
stuff.
going at levels of speed that nobody thought was possible. Do you know that was our technology that was stolen by Russia, and Russia has them, and I started them very quickly. But somebody gave Russia years ago, before me, all of our plans and specs for hypersonic missiles, and they built them, and we didn't. He said Bill Clinton. He could be. It might have been, in all fairness, might have been a little after Bill Clinton. I used to like Bill Clinton. Can you believe it? It could have been Barack Hussein Obama, perhaps. We should ask him. Now, he was very nasty last night. I try and be nice to people, you know, but it's a little tough when they get personal. Please, again, remember, please, sir, don't get personal. Talk about policy. Let me ask you about that. We're going to do a free poll. Here are the 2 questions. Should I get personal? Should I not get personal? Ready? Should I get personal?
Yeah, of course, dude. These are your sycophants. Obviously, they're gonna fucking say get personal. That is relying on your worst instincts, okay? Aaron Rupar's take on this rally, for what it's worth. A big picture observation about Trump's events these days, he's just not getting the reactions he used to 8 or 4 years ago. He had a decent crowd today in North Carolina in terms of size, but as this thread shows, they sat in silence for most of his speech because the material is stale and his attacks on Harris are weak. There's very little chanting and very few big applause lines. His rallies just don't have the same juice. I mean, I don't know. I think his advisors are telling him not to get personal, and they're telling him to stick to policy. And honestly, it's, you know, wait, what is this?
This room?
Trump mocks
Monday.
supporters, calls them basement dwellers. Okay, I don't really care about this. Yeah, we know that he hates his fucking fans. Obviously, he thinks they're all disgusting and unwashed. Okay, I'll say this much. Okay, I mean, he's not wrong. His fan base is unwashed and sweaty. Here is the Ilhan Omar AOC drama that is not really a drama at all. Ilhan Omar said this.
It's been unconscionable for me in the last 10 months to witness my colleagues in this administration refusing to recognize the genocidal war that is taking place in Gaza, to not see the mothers who have lost countless children, babies whose dead bodies are being dug out, to not understand that working tirelessly for a ceasefire is really not a thing, and they should be ashamed of themselves for saying such Palestinians.
She's talking about the administration and not AOC, but of course, because people are fucking annoying losers, they're like, oh, drama. She's talking about AOC because AOC did bring up that Kamala Harris is working tirelessly to get a ceasefire deal going in her speech. Except this was AOC's, Ilhan Omar's reaction to that same speech that night. Okay, it's a great first start to an amazing convention. It's awesome to see cis AOC slay the stage in person. So how does that work? Okay, like I disagree with the Kamala Harris is working tirelessly to get a ceasefire going. Okay, I don't know why she said that. I think she got a little too hyped on the DNC train. Okay, but Kamala is not working tirelessly. I think it's like, I don't think that's true. And if it is true, we should not hear that from AOC. We should hear that from Kamala Harris. Okay? That's it. Every Dem has said working tirelessly. It's the line they were told to say. It's not just AOC that said it. Yeah. But I don't know. People just only care about this in terms of drama because drama is like fun and something that people can hyper focus on. But yeah, no, there is no like agreements, I don't think, between Ilhan Omar and AOC in terms of this situation. AOC is one of the few politicians that have actually actively called it a genocide. So I don't know what the fuck you guys are talking about in terms of that. I mean, that's why it's significant. She says AOC lied. Bro, I just showed you her tweet celebrating AOC's speech. What the fuck do you think is going on? Do you think she means the administration is lying? Or do you think she's specifically calling out AOC? Okay? Like, it is... this is my least favorite type of politics, as you guys know. I absolutely fucking despise this kind of politics, which is like, ooh, drama amongst the squad members. Ooh, it's like, I don't care. You're, and then it's also packaged with the absolute fucking dumbest arguments. You're not even gonna mildly criticize AOC today because of your interview. We get it, Hasanabi. Fucking perish, okay? I criticize AOC regularly. I do, and you know this already. But you're just saying that because you only care, once again, about the fucking drama angle. Because the genocide is irrelevant to you. Commentary on the genocide is irrelevant to you. Getting the news out is irrelevant to you. You just want LSF-style drama between Ilhan Omar and AOC, and you want LSF-style drama between me and AOC because that's how fucking out of whack your priorities are, okay? You are a parasocial fucking loser. Insane. Yeah, I think it's popping out because of this photo that was taken the other day as well as of an IDF soldier. Yeah, I saw this. Okay, so Sergeant Itai Chan was an IDF soldier killed in combat. However, he died, killed by fellow panic troops, hitting his head while hiding, or caught dead to rise by a prisoner in the concentration camp he was guarding. The only reason his body is being held, says Mike Prisoner, is leveraged to free Palestinian civilians from Israel's mass rape dungeon. To be honest, Hamas probably has his body safely wrapped in a box for dignified trade to maybe get back some of the children Israel's torturing, while the idea flattens civilian bodies under tank treads for fun or feeds them to wild dogs. You know. Yeah, this is a horrible look. Like a horrible fucking look. I have the left is now turning on AOC now that she's gaining momentum. Bro, stop the fucking infighting. No, the left, a lot of people will say that the left is doing this specifically because they want to be powerless or because they don't understand how politics works. And there is some truth to that. But you have to understand, you are a slave to the Democratic Party, and it's why many don't respect you. Many don't respect me. If I was a fucking slave to the Democratic Party, more people would respect me, you fucking idiot. It's one of the two major parties, you absolute baboon brain dipshit. What the fuck are you talking about? People think I'm a crank, dumbass, and I'm one of the most reasonable fucking people that you will ever encounter in terms of doing political commentary. Don't ban me, loser. Shut the fuck up, idiot. No, dude, no one knows or cares about your sweaty, unwashed, crusty ass framework on the planet. No one even cares about my sweaty, unwashed, crusty framework on the planet. We are seen as fucking objective freaks, okay, by the broadest majority of the population. You cannot leave your stupid fucking bubble for even 3.5 seconds to actually communicate your desires that might be just, that might be understandable. It is so stupid, though, because you are the worst advocate for your own cause. That is a wild thing to say. Anyway, in terms of people yelling at AOC, I think a lot of people are reasonable, have reasonable fears. I think a lot of people have reasonable fears about what happened with the Obama administration. Obama being a progressive person, the Obama administration was very different than the Obama campaign. A lot of people are worried that AOC will be the next Obama in that same way, where it will nullify whatever wave of progressive momentum, whatever semblance of progressive politics people have in their hearts. Okay? That's what they're understandably fearful of. Okay? Anyway, ultimately, people fucking saying whatever kind of like dumb, idiotic thing about me is also silly because, you know, I'm sitting prominently in the middle of the fucking DNC talking about the current Democratic administration's mishaps and major fuck-ups in terms of dealing with Israel. So shut the fuck up, okay? There is a reason why I'm on the other side of the camera and you're fucking chirping anonymously online. 9-month subscribers fucking literally using my talking voice to pick up chicks and then turning around and being like, I'm actually so much more radical than you now. Sometimes you need to shut the fuck up and listen to what I have to say, okay? Ass. What's up? You're giving me what? A heads up about? Okay. Okay. Wait, what time do I have to like evacuate this area? Okay. 3:45, you said? Okay. She should be wrapped by what? I know, but I think I'm not allowed back in here, right? Or yeah, but will I be able to come back in here before like 7 or whatever? After 5:15? Okay. That'd be nice if I could do that, but yeah. Okay. Do I ever permit? Okay, what am I talking about? Yes, I'm going to the Chavo Trunon show tonight. You spend an insane amount of time yelling at random chatters? No. And also, sometimes it's not just fucking random chatters. A big reason why people are flip-flopping on AOC is that she was one of the most prominent Biden dead-enders until the very end and even doubled down on her position at the DNC. There's someone saying I was in the right to do. Meanwhile, Biden was actively committing a genocide. She was calling it a genocide. It's inherently contradictory to bribe with Biden and then say he's doing a genocide. No, I agree with that. I don't disagree with you on that front. Okay. We'll need to shift away or set up at 3:45. Okay. Hold on. I don't know where March is. I'm going to need March to... Oh, he's not in here. He's not in this group chat. How do I add someone? March is quiet quitting. Still not a good look, but here's some context about the dad. Not bothered by her meeting with the father of a deceased soldier. Many family members of the hostages have become among the most vocal Israeli critics for the Netanyahu regime in wanting to secure a real and urgent end to its Gaza siege because the stakes are real for them. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if this is the hostage father. Oh, it is. Hostage father casts doubt on PM's public appearance on the U.S. ceasefire proposal. Itai Chen accuses Itachen's father accuses Netanyahu of posturing, saying the prime minister conducted himself similarly during and after his meeting with the U.S. President Joe Biden at the White House last month. The hostage's father said Netanyahu made clarifications after the meeting that weren't in line with what we understood at the White House. Yeah, there's a lot of that does make sense. I think it's still a bad look. They don't want the IDF to kill their relatives. No, his relative is dead. His son, I think, is dead. So one of the things that they do in the hostage negotiations is that like Hamas will also, and this is something that Israel does as well. They'll maintain the bodies of the slain Palestinian resistance members, and Hamas and other resistance groups will maintain the bodies of the slain IDF soldiers. Even if they were killed on October 7th, they'll bring the dead bodies over the Gaza boundary, specifically so that they can do a hostage swap and a swap for the deceased. So this father wants his son back, his son's dead body back, so that he can do a proper burial. This is a common practice that, you know, I mean, it's crazy when you think about it, but it's like something that happens quite frequently. Yeah, he was killed by friendly fire. I didn't know that. Okay. I'm being held up trying to walk back into the suite. Oh, shit. March can't come in for some reason. Okay. Worth noting, the return of the remains is a part of the third phase of the original ceasefire proposal Hamas supported. Yeah. They're on board with a return of the remains of the people as well on both sides. The problem is there's one fucking guy. Well, not one guy. There's a big chunk of Israeli society that doesn't want this fucking deal to happen as well. But there's one guy who is personally responsible, single-handedly almost responsible of just simply refusing these very reasonable terms and conditions that Hamas had personally put in place in February. Okay? That's it. Ultimately, as I've said time and time again, you have to adjust your expectations to what the norm is, okay? That's it. Like, you have to adjust your expectations to what the norm is, and the norm in Congress is very different than the norm in the real world. Now, AOC is one of those figures that actually bridges that gap a lot better than the average American congressperson. Think about it this way. I talked to Ro Khanna yesterday, okay? Ro Khanna is not a person that calls what Israel is doing a genocide. I called it a genocide. He was in dismay. He was like shocked that I said that in the conversation, and very quickly clarified that he does not consider it to be that. Okay? I don't know why you think that I would hold back on any of these conversations that I'm having when I have shown you that I am not willing to change my perspective at all. Okay? It's very stupid. A lot of you, unfortunately, I hate to say it, some of you, not a lot of you, but some of you are dumb babies in the chat who have never been in a situation like this, understandably so, and don't know how you would react in a situation like this, understandably so. Why the fuck would you be in a situation like this? And think that, like, you're imagining your shower conversations and you're putting that in display. Okay? That's it. You're like, oh, dude, if I was me, I'll punch politicians in the nuts, dude. Like, it's so fucking, you know, it's silly. Itai Chen's father is Israeli, but he's been openly advocating for a ceasefire deal for months now. I'm sure he just wants closure for his son. Yeah, exactly. I wish the focus on that Ilhan clip wasn't on the AOC drama because it's so refreshing to hear politicians call it what it is. Exactly. But leftists on Twitter obviously will never keep their eye on the prize. Okay? But that's why they're on Twitter. Anyway. What is this? Israel's war on Gaza. Oh, Blinken seriously undermined the negotiations. Report. Israeli newspaper Yediot Ahronot has published a report quoting unnamed Israeli sources who say Blinken seriously undermined the negotiations and demonstrated a lack of understanding when he claimed that Netanyahu had accepted a U.S.-backed proposal that could bring about a suspension of fighting in Gaza. Blinken's statement was met with surprise by Israeli negotiators who have accused Netanyahu of putting forth new demands with the aim of hindering the negotiations, according to a report by the Israeli public broadcaster Khan. A source told Yediot Ahronot that Blinken's claim offered Netanyahu a gift by making Hamas appear as the major obstacle to an agreement, dealing a potential death blow to efforts to reach a deal. A lot of people learned about the Palestinian struggle last year and acting like changing the narrative and what is acceptable didn't take decades to change. I know. Yeah, it's called being firm in your positions without being a completely off-putting freak, and you did a good job. Thank you. I always tell people that I will forever reiterate my commitment to being normal. I will demand you be normal as well. Okay? Do you understand? And if you can't fucking be normal, see your freak ass out of this goddamn chat, okay? Obviously, the way that the internet works, it causes you, especially if you're in an echo chamber, if you're in like Discord servers or whatever, to react in a very freak-like manner, okay? Keep your nasty freak ass outside of this fucking chat and just watch, okay? If you can't fucking behave in a normal fashion. The biggest issue with the left in the U.S. is the inability to be normal and willing to accept different views. No, that's not the biggest issue with the left. The biggest issue with the left is the right. The biggest issue with the left is capitalism, undermining any kind of fucking progressive movement as like just generating an environment that like is not only resistant but like outwardly hostile to any kind of fucking progressive legislation. Okay, we are living in the byproduct of that universe. That's it. And people only swing to those who they think have the capacity to hear them. It's the same principle behind yelling at a fucking Twitch streamer. Okay? Are we able to get March? Because I can't leave without him. Oh, okay, perfect. Thank you. From what I remember from your O'Connor's interview, he didn't agree with you on the apartheid part, not the genocide part. No, he didn't agree with me on either of them. Bro, Trump fat shamed our boy Pritzker. That's fucked up. Okay. We gotta let the, all right, we gotta let it rip so we can get out of here. We're not allowed to be back here at all, right? Okay, so we can come back in here at 5:15. Can I be in here for after 5:15 until like I'm? Oh, perfect. Okay, that's incredible. That's so good. That's fantastic. Where's the? Okay, all right, that's good. So then, chat, we're just gonna be out of here for like I'm gonna be roaming for like an hour. That way I'll get to eat as well because I'm starving. And then we're gonna come back in here. We're gonna continue the desktop stream so I can do more commentary as well. We're not done. Okay, we're not done. But the roaming part of the broadcast is about to begin. And when I'm doing that, I'll probably hang out with Doni. I'll probably link up with Mehdi Hassan potentially. And we have an interview with Greg Cesar as well. Might be a walk and talk portion. We'll figure that out. But you know, we're gonna be doing that. I never understood why you like Pritzker. He's a big boy. I like big boys. I'm partial to big boys. Are you even closer to the stage now? Yes. Yes. It's Greg Kazar, not Caesar. Sorry. We're going on a walk. We're going on a walk. Okay. Here, while we wait though, while there was a couple things I wanted to talk about, I guess like I'll do this one thing before we I'll do this one thing before we move on, and that is police raid Andrew Tate's home in Romania as new allegations emerge involving minors. I don't know why all my ops are pedophiles. They just happen to be that way, okay? All of my major ops are always outed, okay? Always outed in this regard. I don't know what it is. It's just one of the most consistent things that keeps occurring, okay? I don't know. Bucharest, Romania. Mass police officers in Romania carried out fresh raids early Wednesday at the home of divisive internet influencer Andrew Tate, who is awaiting trials on human trafficking, rape, and forming a criminal gang to sexually exploit women. Romania's anti-organized crime agency DCOT said it was searching 4 homes in Bucharest and nearby Ifov County, investigating allegations of human trafficking, the trafficking of minors, sexual intercourse with a minor, influencing statements, and money laundering. The agency added hearings will later be held at its headquarters. It's not on yet, right? Oh, it is. It just keeps. I guess I bring a vibe to the party, an anti-pedophilia vibe to the party that pedophiles seemingly don't like. Tate spokesperson Matea Petrescu said in response to the raids, although the charges in the search warrant are not yet fully clarified, they include suspicions of human trafficking and money laundering, and added that his legal team is present. Petrescu did not address the allegations involving minors. Dozens of police officers and forensic personnel were scouring Tate's large property on the edge of the capital, Bucharest. During the criminal, I mean, we don't know. I don't know how the fucking Romanian criminal system works. I'm just shocked at how long it's taken for the prior. What? Okay. All right. Well, we'll look at the Obama center stage
night at the
proposal.
Democratic National Convention.
That's right. Former President Barack Obama, along with Michelle Obama, took center stage. They paid tribute to Joe Biden, took aim at Donald Trump, and made the case for why they believe Vice President Harris should be the next president. Our chief White House correspondent, Mary Bruce, on the convention floor, starts us off this morning. Good morning to you, Mary.
Good morning, Robin. Well, this was a forceful 1-2 punch by the Obamas. Their remarks, both political and personal, pummeling Donald Trump in blistering terms, but also lifting up Kamala Harris, praising her character and substance and making it clear they see Harris as the future of the movement they started.
Overnight, President Obama, who once electrified the nation with his vision of hope and change, passing that mantle to Kamala Harris.
America's ready for a new chapter. America's ready for a better story. We are ready for a President Kamala Harris.
The former president slamming Donald Trump, saying he puts himself above the interests of the American people.
Here's a 78-year-old billionaire who has not stopped whining about his problems since he rode down his golden escalator 9 years ago. It has been a constant stream of gripes and grievances that's actually been getting worse now that he's afraid of losing to Kamala.
Casting Trump as dangerous, divisive, and petty.
There's the childish nicknames, the crazy conspiracy theories, this weird obsession with crowd sizes. It just goes on and on and on.
But warning Americans that Trump should not be underestimated.
The torch has been passed. Now it is up to all of us to fight for the America we believe in. And make no mistake, it will be a fight.
Making a rare return to the political center stage, former First Lady Michelle Obama.
Not a fan. All right. Hopefully it worked. Inshallah. Okay. Let's see. Did it? Okay, we're good. We're cooking. Okay, it's dark for the record.
Give it a sec.
It's muted. Your mic is on.
Talking to it?
Hello.
Oh, that's weird.
Super low. Mic is off. Too quiet.
Let me see.
You think it's
Here, turn it on and off.
Wait, hold on.
Sorry. Hello.
Is it working? Sounds fine. Very low. Super quiet. Cam mic. They're saying it's the cam mic. I hear March fine.
Oh. I mean, it's... Oh, I'm
What?
an idiot.
What happened?
Here, grab this.
Wait, we're fixing it.
Whoops.
What is it?
Look, we got rushed out, okay?
Chat, it happens. We literally got kicked out. Like, I need to pee. They wouldn't let me pee. So, I don't know if you can hear me, but...
They can. Stop the cam mic. But it's might...
Oh, you didn't even connect it. It's the cam mic.
Sorry.
It might blow up.
Yeah.
You cracked it too much, probably.
Should be good now.
All right, what about now?
People are going to say, way too dang. It's good.
Is it good? Is it good? Good now? We lit? Only one ear. Is mono? Or only on one ear? Or how about now? Yes, very good. Only right ear. Working now. Is it still right side only or is it working now? Oh, perfect. It's fixed. So we had a unique predicament, but Elizabeth Warren came in early to the room and her staffer escorted us out in the rudest way I've ever been talked to in my entire fucking life as a 6'4", 240-pound, 33-year-old adult man with white beard hairs. But, you know, it is what it is. Okay, we're going to now walk around. We're going to roam around, and then we're going to hopefully be able to come back in approximately an hour plus. You would move it or you wouldn't? Okay, yeah. You're good. It's right there. Okay, thank you. All right, let's roam. Let's roll.
Damn, this guy's good.